Hey everyone, welcome to Logan's Mosh Pit. Glad to have you here. Do me a favor and please subscribe if you haven't already. Today we're going to do another episode of Logan's List. In this series, I'm going to share my opinion on all things music related, ranging from common topics to obscure topics. Today we're going to go over some bands I strongly dislike. I also threw in a couple solo artists too. It was actually extremely challenging to compile this list. It took me a while. The reason being I don't actively seek out music I hate. It seems pointless. Instead, I tend to stay as far away from it as possible. Just stick to what I enjoy. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The main genres I surround myself with on a daily basis happen to be classic rock, hard rock, alternative rock, grunge, heavy metal, and thrash. For the most part, I avoid pop, country, jazz, hip-hop, R&B, and rap, but there are a few rare exceptions. Anyway, I shuffled this list randomly. I don't necessarily hate any of these names more compared to the others. Let me be perfectly clear. None of the musicians on my list today will be featured in another video. I can promise you that. No way. End of story. Period. Not gonna happen. No chance! I want to keep my channel positive. Now, I won't elaborate on why they don't appeal to me, because it all comes down to personal preference. It's a clear-cut choice. I don't need a reason. A decision regarding whether or not a band fits an individual's unique interest usually occurs really rapidly. You instinctively know. Blank is for me or blank isn't for me. The same was true for me. I excluded some common picks such as Nickelback, Puddle of Mudd, Creed, and Buckcherry. I don't mind them. Rather than bash my picks, I'm going to tell you how I would rather spend my time. Share some of my hobbies, tell you more about me. Before we get started, just know I'm not trying to persuade you not to listen to anyone on my list. That's not my intention. That's not my place. My word isn't law. Like I said, each of us have unique musical taste. You can decide on your own. It's up to you. If you like them, great. Listen to them. Listen to whatever you want. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. First, Limp Biscuit. Instead of listening to Limp Biscuit, I would rather play guitar. Comment below if you know what riff I played. Next, Bob Dylan. Instead of listening to him, I would rather take my dog for a walk. Come on, princess. Next, Genesis. Instead of listening to Genesis, I would rather watch college basketball. Next, the B-52s. Wait, isn't that a plane? Instead of listening to them, I would rather do aromatherapy. Next, Good Charlotte. Instead of listening to Good Charlotte, I would rather replay old NASCAR races. Next, Mumford & Sons. Instead of listening to them, I'd rather watch My 600-Pound Life. Next, the Goo Goo Dolls. Instead of listening to the Goo Goo Dolls, I would rather get in shape because I just watched My 600-Pound Life. Next, Bee Gees. Instead of listening to them, I would rather see how many gummy bears I can catch in my mouth. Next, Counting Crows. Instead of listening to Counting Crows, I would rather watch NFL. Lady! Alert, alert, alert! Hurry, hurry! Omaha! Yellow Weasel! Next, Johnny Cash. Instead of listening to Johnny Cash, I would rather read my Bible. Next, Van Morrison. Instead of listening to Van Morrison, I'd rather take a nice, hot shower. I won't record that. Use your imagination. Next, Radiohead. Instead of listening to Radiohead, I would rather read a thriller. Next, Simple Plan. Instead of listening to them, I would rather watch Pawn Stars. We all know what a cheapskate Rick is, right? Here's a comment I left on one of their videos. It's called Expensive Baseball Bible Needs 2 Appraisals. I commented, Police, get on the ground! Rick, the best I can do is squat, and I'm taking a huge risk here. I didn't steal that comment. I thought of it myself. I really did. Next, Gorillaz. What's the Z for? Reminds me of those Pets Wii games. Instead of listening to Gorillaz, I would rather take a dump. Excuse me. Can I borrow an old t-shirt? Finally, Blur. Instead of listening to them, I would rather make puns out of food. Like using popcorn, I wrote pop by to say no one's butter than you. Check my Instagram if you don't believe me. That does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Until then, rock on.